As Peter said, I am manager of the Herts Environmental Records Centre. I have been asked to give this update on behalf of the Mara team, as none of them were unfortunately able to make it today. So I'll do my best with questions, but full disclosure, I won't have all the answers. So the Mara Atlas project has been running since, I believe, 2015. There was the pandemic in the middle of that, obviously, so the survey period has been extended a couple times, and I'm now looking at around a decade, which has finished off now in 2024. They have been working hard, doing a whole bunch of verification. Obviously, there are records coming in from multiple sources for the mammals, amphibians, and reptiles. So the verification and the data collation is a significant job. They're looking to have that tidied up by the end of this year, so coming up. They've made a shout out to a few of the Hertfordshire species groups, including the bat group, the badger group, and the amphibian and reptile group. And there's some big news that they are now prepared to say, having looked at the data so far, which is that over that 10 years of survey period, there have been no reliable records of hazel dormouse or adder in the county, and they are therefore going to be publishing them as extinct in the county, which is obviously a pretty significant result, and one that is clearly, not good news. There are still some gaps in the county in terms of survey coverage, but they will be looking in the future at these gaps to direct further survey effort by the relevant groups. There have been some good news stories as well coming out of the data. The recovery of the water vole is coming up quite clearly in the data. That has obviously been the result of some very, very significant effort by the Wildlife Trust and various partners to work on habitat creation, habitat restoration, and of course those species introductions. Water shrew are also now known to be from more sites than previously, including some away from water, which seems interesting. Toad patrols are increasing across the county and continue to submit useful data. And in 2025, there was a result that saw great-crested newts moving at the same time as toads in February to March at St. Iblets. I don't really know what the significance of that is. Someone else in the room might. The data are also showing that otter are continuing to thrive in the county. Obviously, otter are recovering from a long-term, rather drastic decline from persecution. But they seem to be doing well in the county, seem to be increasing. And we even had one this past summer seen in the Stevenage Garden Pond. This one was actually reported to the Records Centre directly as well, and I had a look into it. It was literally a kilometre and a half, at least, from any waterway, and the waterways out there are ephemeral ditches more than, positive streams. So they do seem to be wide-ranging in their foraging activities. In badger news, the Herts and Middlesex Badger Group do a very good job collecting information on road casualties with one of their online forms. So there's quite good data every year that comes in via that route. Do continue to report high numbers of road casualties, which is a bit of a double-edged result, because obviously they're casualties, and it is bad news when they're, particularly when they're breeding females. But it does also mean that the population in the county as a whole is probably doing fairly well. So kind of an indicator both ways. And they are still happy to receive new photos or records. Obviously recording, the atlas periods and survey periods are great for focusing effort and attention, but recording goes on all the time. So the doors are not closed for receiving records. And that's it from the notes from the Mara team. A small plug for the Record Centre. We are the county repository of species, habitat, and sites information. If you have any questions whatsoever around what happens with data, how you can be more effective at recording, you want some help with putting together some community resources or do some number crunching and data analysis, this is what we're here for. We are the local service for working with biological data. So if you want to have a chat during the break, I will be around, and obviously we are always happy to support our recording community.